You are now listening to the Insight Fantasy Sports Podcast.
Welcome in and welcome all. We are back. It's the Insight NFL Podcast, SuperCoach edition, the Captain's Huddle for Week 7. Now, this is just a preface. This is where we go through the top vice-captain options, top straight captain options, also a couple of little looping options as well to take advantage of that SuperCoach little hack there. Thursday, 16th of October, when this one's dropping, a day out of the Week 7, kicking off, mind you, Pittsburgh versus Cincinnati with the Thursday night game there over in the States. If you are new here and you are watching on YouTube, please hit us with that like and subscribe. We absolutely love it. And we drop 6 shows a week moving forward for the rest of the NFL season. So if you want to stay in tuned with NFL, fantasy, and SuperCoach, here's the best place to get that coverage. And again, we have just dropped our trade shows for SuperCoach and also traditional fantasy. Both of those links will be in the video description below. But Mav, sorry, mate, I left you hanging there for a bit. Vice captain options. Firstly, how are you feeling? I know it's been such a long time since I've seen you, and then you can kick things off with our first vice captain option of the week.
Yeah, feeling good. Back into the captain's huddle, which is always an interesting. Well, it's a crucial part of SuperCoach is getting your captaincy right or your looping options right. You can gain an extra 30 points a week just in that alone, or you could lose 30 points a week if you decide to go the opposite way and be a bit greedy with your scores, which I have been numerous times this year. Bit ambitious, but that's how we play our fantasy football. We play it on the edge, and that's how I like to play. Anyway, look, obviously Cincinnati and Pittsburgh play tomorrow, being a Friday for us. So we're looking for maybe a vice captain in that game. So Jamar Chase obviously would be one that we'd be looking at. Has he got a QB upgrade in Joe Flacco? I suppose he has. So yeah, Joe Flacco's got another week in there that's learnt the playbook, learning how these weapons at Cincinnati play. So hopefully this means more production and more upside here for Jamar Chase for the rest of the season, I guess. But even this week, being in a divisional matchup against the Steelers, this is going to be a fiery matchup. These teams always clash. They clash every game. There's always something that happens. But we're going to have 2 QBs in this game. The combined age of 81 in this game. So averages out to be 40.5. That's what the starting QBs are going to be putting out there at the moment. But no, this could be a big Jamar Chase game. I think the Steelers' defense hasn't been that strong this year, and Jamar Chase could have a game here. So worthy of putting a VC if you've got Josh Allen, Lamar, any of these top options, Puka Nacua, any of these top options that you want to hold on buy, you can put them on the VC and see how he goes.
Love the call. Mav straight at the gate. Jamar Chase, and even better with this one, they are on that island game to kick off the week, so you don't need to stress or make sure that you're staying up Monday morning to swap around the right option, depending on how it all plays out. Another name here from this island game to kick things off, DK Metcalf. So it would be a bit of a pod, 8.5% owned. Actually surprising. Just over 2,700 SuperCoach managers have him involved. Coming off the bye from last week. Oh, sorry, the week previous, and up against Cincy, their defense has just been absolutely horrid. So if there is a game for DK Metcalf to go large, he's been seeing some nice touchdowns over the last few weeks. I think this is a spot where he could have 2. So if you do have him there and you want to take a nice little easy vice captain option, could be DK as a nice little pod for the week. I'll give you another one here before throwing back to Mav for our final. Patty Mahomes, he's just been lights out the last few weeks here, really solidifying himself as a top option here in SuperCoach. And he gets some more weapons back this week. He's got Rashee Rice, first game back after missing the first 6 weeks due to suspension. Xavier Worthy getting a little bit healthier. Travis Kelce starting to look like the Travis Kelce of old. He was getting more involved last week against the Lions. But Mahomes in an early Monday game as well, things that we love with vice captain options, gives us some time to kind of move around the captaincy if we need to. And against a very poor Raiders defense, it's just been absolutely horrid in a divisional matchup too. So we should see a fair few fireworks in this one here. But Mav, our last vice captain option, an absolute stud here. Who have you got?
I've got Drake May in this spot here, and this is another guy who plays in the 4 a.m. slate of games, so the first slate of morning games. It's always pretty tight though when you're looking at 4 a.m. though. You have to look to if they start pretty slow and don't get going, and you look to try and pivot early and put the captaincy on someone else who might play that next window of games. You don't have a lot of time between the kickoff, I suppose, to make a decision. So that's always a hard choice to make when you've probably got minutes to make a decision. But Drake May is going to be a good one. Again, there's again few QBs on bye this week. Obviously, 2 top options on bye this week. But they're playing against the Titans, man, and the Titans have been imploding. The defense has been pretty average, not great, not shit. So it's just somewhere in the middle. But again, Drake May's been balling for the majority of the year, and could get onto one or a few in this game. We need a couple of rushing touchdowns added in to really boost him up, or 3 or 4 passing touchdowns to get him really boosted. But I think this is a good matchup for him. It could be one of those games where he sort of picks out of the carcass of a body that's really on the decline at the moment, because Titans are all over the shop. So could go either one or two ways with the Titans. I suppose they could be just really shit and goes downhill really quickly, or they might have to start playing for job security and actually lift and make life hard for Drake May. But I think it's worthy of a vice captaincy option if you're looking for for an early slate option.
Yeah, I love this one too, because their rushing game for Patriots hasn't been too hot the last few weeks. Hopefully the touchdowns don't fall in that way and end up in Drake May's lap, either through the passing or his rushing game. They're really all about top vice captain options. Again, we really need to pick guys that are either in the first game of the week or in that first early Monday morning slate, just to give us some time to play the looping game and manipulate that. But if you're looking for a straight captain option, if those vice captain options don't go well, Jonathan Taylor versus the Chargers to kick things off. Chargers have been a bit of a run funnel the last few weeks. They've just been struggling. They're battered on defense, battered on offense as well in terms of injuries. And Jonathan Taylor, we just know how good he is. He gave us a big 60-point game a couple of weeks ago with 3 touchdowns. I think he had in one, and every chance he gets at least 1 or even 2 touchdowns in this game against the Chargers too. So that's a nice straight captain option. And at the second slate of Monday morning as well, a bit later, which gives you a bit more time. Mav, your top straight caption option here.
Well, I think it's one of them for me is probably Jaden Daniels. If you do own him, the Cowboys' defense has been horrible. I think they're ranked number 32 in the league, so dead dog shit last. That defense, and it's not looking like it's going to improve anytime soon. So there's a real chance here that the offensive will be at full strength with McLaurin back and hopefully Debo's back at full strength. So again, plenty of opportunity there for Daniels to rush some in on the ground, obviously, but some passing touchdowns go along with it too. So he could have a monster game. And again, it's under a dome, and it's actually in Dallas, so that might affect him just a little bit with obviously playing on the road. But again, weather shouldn't affect the game if we're talking about dome games. So should be near on perfect conditions for old Jaden Daniels, but maybe the sun might be a slight problem coming through the windows at the top of AT&T Stadium. Might be the only real. Actually, it's a night game, isn't it? Is it a night game? Or is it a little twilight game? I can't remember. I think it's a 7:25.
Yeah, it could be.
It is a 7:25. Yeah. Maybe slight sun in the first quarter might slow him down a little bit, but no, he should ball in this game. I think that this could be the start of the week nearly, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I love it. And hopefully getting Terry McLaurin back, the wide receiver 1 there too. So, I mean, even without Terry, he's going to produce against a very poor defense like you laid out for us, Mav. The next guy here that I want to highlight, and coming off a massive game, again, we don't really want to be caught up with chasing last week's points, but Bijan Robinson up against the 49ers, he scored 65 last week against the Bills, absolutely decimated those guys, had some really big plays. 49ers are pretty banged up on the defensive end, and I think he could could run back another multi-touchdown game on top of just the massive volume he's been getting in the receiving and also rushing game there. Absolutely love Bijan against 49ers and also the last game on the Monday slate. So again, gives you some nice time to adjust. And I'll throw another running back out here as well before closing it out with you, Mav. Jahmyr Gibbs versus Tampa Bay. Again, it's on a Tuesday game for us, so Monday Night Football over in the States. Second last game of the week, so perfect, lines up with what we're looking for with these straight captain options. And I think he's going to be looking for a bounce back spot after the down week against Kansas City. Very high point implied total for this game as well, similar to the Cowboys and Commanders, not as high, but there's going to be a lot of points in this one. And I think Tampa on the other side of the ball with Baker, they're going to be able to push the lines and hopefully get this one to cover the total. And in turn, we'll hopefully bode for some nice fantasy scoring for Jahmyr Gibbs. One last name here, Mav, that we've got as a straight captain option. Who do you think?
Probably you're looking at someone like Josh Jacobs is probably a guy that I'd be looking at as a captain. Again, we're looking at production here. He's the offense. He scores a touchdown every week. Multiples, obviously, is like he can do it any given week. Maybe 2, maybe 3. He's got the ability to do it. I think game script wise, it should be under their favor. So I don't think they'll be chasing points. I don't think they'll ever be behind. If they are, it won't matter. It'll be early in the game where they just need to sort of match a touchdown. But all in all, I think this is going to be a game where game script wise, it should be under their favor, and Josh Jacobs should see plenty of work and a lot of carries through the guts of that Cardinals defense, who have been okay at best. Not too bad, not too good, like just okay. So we're looking at a big game here from Josh Jacobs. To round out, I think they play the 6:25 slate, if I'm not mistaken. So again, not a lot of time to move on. If Mahomes or if Drake May or any of those guys don't perform in that 4 a.m. slate, you haven't got a lot of time to pivot to JTs or Josh Jacobs or anything like that. So that's the hard part of it all. And if you sleep in, or you like to sleep in, then that's also a bit of a hard one too. You might need to set the alarm for a 6 a.m. And maybe look at the scores. But it's not a bad option if you're desperate for players to score big.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of running backs too that we've got here is straight captain options this week. Only Jaden Daniels in the quarterback, but we just have to play the matchups. And if you did tune into last night's trade show, Josh Jacobs was a big feature as a running back trade in as well, if you don't have him already. So love that one there, Mav. In terms of looping options as well, so if you want to go ahead with your vice captain score there, if they perform, any of the players on bye that you're looking to hold, they're a nice little easy loop, as players on bye count as the last game of the week, so it gives you more time there. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, James Cook, Dalton Kincaid, and also the kicker Tyler Loop, if you want to play that around there as well. And if you don't have either of those guys, if you move them on, potentially some injured guys that you might be holding on to in Amarion Hampton or even Brock Bowers, because it's looking like he will be ruled out again for this week. But that will wrap things up here for week 7 of the Captain's Huddle. We will be back tonight with our traditional fantasy week 7 preview and starts for the week. So thanks for tuning in. Best of luck for your SuperCoach matchups in week 7. We'll see you guys next week.
See ya.